Jeffrey with Real Nifty Vintage, and today I wanted to give you a little bit of insight of what is happening with the new 1950s theme booth. I am so excited. The day is really coming up. I see it. Oh, I can see it. So you can kind of see behind me what I've been dealing with, and I'll show you all of that of what we've been living with the past few months. But I've been working on the last couple days a couple project pieces, things that are really going to help set off this booth and make it look really cool. So I have this wood frame here in front of me that I've been working on to make a false or fake window that I think is going to look so cool. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. All right, so right here we have this yellow wood frame. This frame had a kind of a tacky looking photo in it. It wasn't a painting or anything. It was really just junk. So I tore that off so I had the frame. And this is going to be a fake window. I went ahead and cut this piece of wood out of a scrap we had downstairs, and it's currently being glued on the frame to make a ledge so that I can have like little figurines or something there. These here are a pair of curtains that I made. Now, I mind you, I don't sew, but I use this stuff called liquid stitch. And what these clips are, they're just keeping these together so I can have some sort of a pleat. Not that these are sewn pleats, it's just I wanted more of a defined, I guess you could see what I'm saying, but I just wanted it to make it look nice. So I have them being stored like that so that they can maybe have these. I don't want to iron it. I don't want like real creases or anything, but we'll see if this actually helps what I'm doing here. But I bought this fabric at Walmart. It wasn't too expensive. I think it was about $3 or $4, and it was just a yard of fabric. So I cut it down, and it's very good. I can't wait to see all this together. But yeah, we have this ledge here. I mistakenly painted the frame without this, and I don't know why, but this needs to be painted yellow as well, this ledge here. The other thing that I want to do with this window, or mock window, is get some pegboard, some white pegboard to put behind it so that whenever it's hung on the wall, I can hang kitchen utensils in it. So just kind of hang those kitchen utensils on there. And then, like I said, figurines here. But the reason I need a back to it is because the wall that this is going on is currently a carpeted wall, and I'm going to wallpaper that wall. So I'll show you that. It's actually over there, and we'll get over there in just a minute. But I'm going to put wallpaper over it, and there's really nothing substantial for this thing to hang on to. So, well, actually, that's another part. There's not a pegboard, so I got to put a pegboard on this. And then when I'm over there, at the booth, I need to see if there's some way I can attach some sort of a 2x4 to the wall to give it something. Yeah, you don't need to know that. But right now, this is one project that I'm working on. All right, and then this here is actually something I picked up a while ago in anticipation of this whole booth setup. And this is going to actually go in booth number 1, the booth that I have that has like those white, it's the same material, white shelves on either side of the booth. So it's going to be this material, or this is this is going to go in the back of the booth in the very center. Currently, in the back of the booth in the center is this like 1940s era hutch kind of a thing. And it's white with red accenting. That's going to be removed out of that booth and put into the 1950s theme booth. And in its space will be this more generic looking shelf. Okay. So that's going to go there. This here is going to go obviously in the new 1950s booth. The way that it's currently set up with everything on the shelves is not necessarily the way that it's going to be, but I will say that probably the salt and pepper shaker shelf is the way it's going to be. But the way that I just, stuff is on these shelves just so I have an idea of how much I have and how far it's going to go. But this shelf here I purchased at a yard sale many, many months ago. I don't even remember. And it was just white already. I think I paid about $20 for it. And since then I glued this ribbon, this is vintage ribbon, on the fronts of it to kind of dress it up a little bit. So that's really cool. I like the strawberries on there. I think it's really cute. But yeah, just mostly random things. So these will be better organized as I draw closer to when I need to have all this done. So that's that. There's our clock. I don't know if I've ever showed the, well, I mean, I think it's probably been a very long time ago, but this is an 8-day clock. And it's just a really interesting clock, and it does a lot of things. This guy rings his bell, these people dance around, the bird comes out, these people jig back and forth and dance, the water wheel turns. It has a lot going on. And we bought this at an auction a long time ago, and I think it was only $75, which is an outstanding price for what this is. Retail, this is at least a $400 clock. So it's an awesome piece. We'll just keep that up there. It's really neat. And then I bought those a long time ago before I was even a reseller. Those birds, I bought those on Etsy. Somebody was selling them, and I paid up for them. So they're cool. Okay. Yeah, why not make this a whole tour? Okay, this is that thing that I bought recently. It's a TV lamp, and I put these pink flowers in it, so it kind of hangs out here by the TV. And then we have this other one here that I've had for a while, and it's sort of a glass block that's sitting on a lamp base, and that's the way that it would have came. So that's cool. I bought that a very long time ago. I don't know. It's kind of broke, and it's been glued together, but I like it, so I'll just keep it. I think it's an Italian piece. I can't remember. But it's cool. Okay, here's what I was supposed to be showing you. This is another display for the booth, and it is a little bookcase. Now, this was free. The bookcase was, but it was originally like an ugly brown color. And that even wasn't the original color. If you look at the bottom of it, there's like multiple paint colors this thing has been. I think it was green at one point, maybe even white, then brown, then now white again. Again, I put ribbon on the fronts of this just to dress it up. We did a different ribbon this time around so that it's not so exact. I don't want this to look like a matchy-matchy thing. That's not the goal. But again, what's on here isn't necessarily what's going to be on here. So we have like lots of figurines and things like that. This shelf here, that's actually a shelf with these little hangers on it, that is going to go above that shelf. So that's going to be hung on the wall. So there's that. There's Stella. Say hello. Stella, say hello. Say hello. I feel like I need to trim her up a little bit. Sometimes her hairs get really like, it's so funny. Where's she? Oh, Stella, what is she doing? You look so silly. You're such a silly one. Yes, you are. Okay. Over here is the bulk of what we have going on. So I have multiple things happening over here. There is a steak and shake table. That is actually a steak and shake table. Really cool. And then we have a red and white cart there. We have a gray cracked ice cart. And then this is the main piece that we have, which is a 1950s era kitchen thing. Okay. I'm going to get closer so we can see what we have. Okay, so this item here, actually, I bought it a while ago, and it was in extreme, I don't want to say disrepair because that's not true. It was just in really bad shape. So I took the doors off the bottoms because we don't need the doors. We need to be able to see what's in there. So the doors came off the bottom. The drawers originally did not have handles on them. Those handles are what were on the doors. So I drilled those in. So now they have handles on the drawers. That was actually Barb's idea. So I did that. That corner piece there is not safe, so I'm going to see about putting a lock on it and using it to put things that need to always be in the booth for my use. So I'm going to think about that. But I'll show you kind of what I have in here. It's like a Lazy Susan, and it's painted, but this thing here has been ripped off because it's so overly rusted. And then this is like a raw, sharp edge of metal. There's a hole there. This is not safe in here. So, oh, that wasn't very sharp. Okay. So it's painted white. Technically, it could be left like maybe like that, but I'm still not happy with it. So I'm going to see about making it where you can't open it and like put a lock or something on there. So that's sort of unusable space. But I painted this whole thing white. I mean, it already was white. It was just kind of a creamy white with like rust and spots and, you know. So I painted it white and it looks really nice now. The top here, the Formica, is in fantastic shape. It's this green kind of thing happening. Really awesome. This yellow thing here was something that really had me thinking for a while, because it was originally red, and it was really cool, you know, retro red. And I just wasn't happy with it. I thought it was too aggressive for the space. I thought it was too dominant. Dominant's the word I was looking for, not aggressive. It was just taking over, and I wanted the items themselves to be on display. So I decided to paint it yellow because it also works more harmoniously with the green. Green and yellow they just work together better than red and green. Red and green are more contrasting, and that's why they're so popular for Christmas and things like that. But yeah, yellow and green. And this is still in keeping with like the 50s theme. You know, people love to paint things yellow, paint them green, paint them blue. So it's all good. Here's a sampling of what the paper would look like. However, this side's not going to have paper. This is going to be just a normal white pegboard side. This back is going to have the paper. So what we see here is a hole of nothing. That yellow thing that I'm working on is actually going to get plugged right on there and hang on the wall. But this is the back wall of the booth. So this back wall will have this paper on it. Okay. And that's mainly because there's this kind of burgundy, creamy, carpeted wall on there that was from the original bowling alley. And I want to escape as much as I can from that. So it's going to help a long way in not only adding character, but hiding a problem. So that's cool. So I do have about 8 feet worth of width here. This is a good amount of that 8 feet, but we do have room here left over for something. And that something is going to be that red and white cabinet from booth number 1. It's going to be scooted right there. And so it's going to get put like that. So we'll have that whole back wall done. That shelf, that one, so we have that one and that one. Those are our 2 main pieces. It depends on how it actually lays out in the space, but I'm thinking that long white one will go here with that shelf above it. And then that and that, this wall over here will have pretty much just a rolling cart on it and whatever else I happen to find that's, you know. So I guess for the most part, it's going to be an open, clean wall as far as furniture is concerned. This thing here, again, this is all in theory and how it lays out. That table should plunk right in the middle of the space. You'd be walking around it, sort of like a kitchen table. And then for the floor, I'm going to do black and white checkerboard. And I already have the tile. It's been riding in the back trunk for the longest time. So, in my trunk of my car. So yeah, I mean, it's all together. I've got all the pieces. My next step is actually to start pricing all of these things. So I've got tons of stuff here. So I'm going to do a video on this, a separate standalone video of taking a booth from the start to finish. And so I'll go through all of that. But yeah, it's a big thing to do. I've got some stuff in here tucked away. I'm not even sure if this is going to end up in the booth. It's just, I thought I'd shove them in there. And then I got this cool yellow thing in here. Again, it's like, I don't know why. I'm kind of living out a dream with this booth, to be honest, about having a kitchen kind of like in the 50s. And that's really exciting to me. So that's a big driver for this. But yeah, we've got these things full. And I think this gray one here is actually going to tuck right under here. That's partly a ledge that sticks out. I think it'll be able to stick right in there, long ways, deep wise, like that. And then that big white thing would go next to it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I do think it all will work out. And then likewise, this thing here would be on this other side somehow over there. So yeah, I think it's all going to turn out well. But this is sort of what I've got going on. I did get my custom stamp in, and here it is. So I bought this stamp on Etsy. It's a self-inking stamp, and I designed this myself in, well, you don't need to know exactly how I did it, but I made it the way I wanted it, and it has my booth number on there. So I will stamp each tag, and I don't have a tag lying around right now to show you, but each price tag will be stamped with this. So the next step is actually to start pricing. So that's going to be a big task, and I think I'm going to do it in just a minute because I'm really excited to use my stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp all my tags, get those with the stuff written on there, and then I can go through and start pricing them and all that stuff. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on this and let you see how I was coming along. I have not been mentioning it because, well, it's just a mess. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.